Hello and welcome to another edition of Focus on Morris County. I'm Joe Garifo, Public Information Director for the Morris County Government. Focus on Morris County is a program that's designed to keep us up to date on the actions that are being taken by the Morris County Board of Freeholders. The show is also intended to make us all more aware of the many facets of Morris County government. Now, in this segment of the program, we are going to learn about the Morris County Economic Development Corporation. And here to shed some light on that agency is my guest, Maggie Peters. Maggie is the Executive Director of the Morris County Economic Development Corporation. Maggie, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
I guess the best way to start learning about the EDC is for me to ask you, what is the Economic Development Corporation?
Absolutely. The Morris County Economic Development Corporation was established in about 1991. We're a public-private partnership of business, government, and economic development allies dedicated to growing the economy of Morris County. As I said, we're a public-private partnership, so we are a division of the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, providing economic development services to the county.
Who are some of the organizations or some of the agencies that make up the Economic Development Corporation?
Well, of course, our public sector partner, the Morris County Freeholder Board, the Department of Planning and Development within the county, some of the largest real estate entities within the county, lawyers, architects, engineers, some small businesses, some medium-sized businesses, banks, of course.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the benefits of becoming a member of the EDC? Why would an agency want to join?
Certainly, the number one reason that people join is to support economic development, because by supporting economic development, they're supporting their own business. We're working to create opportunities and jobs within the county, and that helps their business grow. There's also opportunities for exposure through events, through our website, through our newsletter, through our business attraction publication that we're actually in the middle of developing. So we do provide opportunities for membership to get exposure and networking, but largely it's to support economic development.
Yeah. Could you explain the relationship? You mentioned the Morris County Chamber of Commerce. Explain the relationship between the EDC and the Morris County Chamber.
The Morris County EDC, MCEDC, is a division of the Chamber. So we are the chamber, basically, but we are the division providing economic development services to the county. So we do have different services. We do have our own separate membership and some separate goals, but we are within.
And you also mentioned the Morris County government. How involved is the county government with the EDC? What is that relationship like?
Very involved. Freeholder Murphy is a liaison for economic development, so he sits on MCEDC's board. The freeholders are very accessible. We've reached out to them for things we need over the years, and of course they support us with a grant financially. So the freeholders are responsible for about half of our budget, making the activities we do possible.
Yeah, and I know you partner with several events throughout the course of the year as well with the county government.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's start to get specific here in terms of the assistance that the Economic Development Corporation provides businesses and industry. Let's say a business or a company is thinking about coming to Morris County. How does the EDC assist that corporation? What are some of the ways that you would get involved with that company?
Some of MCEDC's core services include maintaining a database of available commercial, industrial, and land sites within the county, as well as being a conduit for the state's economic development programs and incentives. We're also playing a liaison role between business and government, and we're maintaining quite a bit of demographic and market data on the county. So if a company is considering the Northeast, Morris County, New Jersey, we're working to make sure that we have provided them any available site that meets their criteria in terms of real estate, demographic and market data. They want to know about the workforce. They want to know about the average annual income and population, and we're making sure that they have a good understanding of that. We have a lot of great attributes, and so we're making sure that any company considering here knows about those.
Do they contact you, or if, let's say, you hear that a certain company is thinking about Morris County as a possible location, do you actively pursue that company?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We get quite a lot of our leads through the brokerage community, so through our own members saying, okay, we have a company in Essex County and in Somerset County looking to expand or looking to relocate. Here's some details on the company, and either I will provide the information through the broker if I know who the company, if they don't reveal who the company is, but oftentimes they'll say, this is the company, this is the contact person, let's have a meeting and let's talk about the possibilities in Morris County.
And so what do you tell them? What are the selling points?
Of course, workforce.
Yeah.
Morris County has a very educated workforce. The quality of life is also something that's very important to people, especially if they're considering a corporate headquarters. So definitely workforce, quality of life, and access to highways.
What about companies that are already in Morris County? Let's say a company is considering leaving the county. How do you get involved or in that particular situation to try and get them to stay?
MCEDC has a very active business retention program.
Okay.
As they say in sales, it's much easier to keep a customer or a client that you already have than it is to try and go out and attract new companies, in our case, to come to Morris County. So MCEDC spends about half its resources working with Morris County's existing companies, making sure that they're happy, and if they need something, we're tending to those needs. And if I do find out that a company is considering leaving New Jersey or leaving the county, we work to meet with them to make sure that they're aware of all of the retention programs and services available through the state of New Jersey. I talk to them about exactly what their problem is, and we deal with it on a case-by-case basis. If it's permitting at the local level, if it's the cost of real estate, we're trying to find them something less expensive. We're working with the municipality to get them the permits they need to expand and make it as easy as possible, if those are the issues.
Yeah. Can you give us an example or two of perhaps a company that you've worked with to convince them to stay in the county and that they have stayed?
Well,
or expand?
Sure. Last year, we worked with a company, PNY Technologies. They're in Parsippany on Jefferson Road. They were in a little bit over 200,000 square feet. They were considering an expansion, but they didn't know where it was going to be. Was it even going to be in New Jersey? And in economic development, there's a lot of competition nowadays with Pennsylvania and other states actively recruiting our businesses. So today, when it's public that a company is looking to expand, there's a lot of people soliciting them. So we worked with PNY Technologies last year. They were going to expand. They ended up expanding in Parsippany. We brought in some representatives from the New Jersey Business Action Center, which is the state's retention and attraction arm in terms of incentives and programs. So we made sure we had that meeting, talked about all of the programs and incentives that they would be eligible for, making New Jersey a more competitive place, and they ended up expanding right down the street from their former site into 537,000 square feet, so 200 plus to 537.
Yeah. The big difference.
Yes,
it
absolutely.
is. One of the initiatives that the Morris County Economic Development Corporation began several years ago was something called Listening to Business. And first of all, I want to ask you to just give us a little overview of what that is. Sure. And is it still an ongoing initiative?
Yes, absolutely. The Listening to Business initiative is our proactive business retention effort. We contact businesses municipality by municipality. We try and meet with every business we can, over 10 employees, non-retail. So we reach out with a letter from the mayor. My office follows up. We set up a meeting. We ask them questions about the economic climate, the strengths and weaknesses of the community. How do they feel about community services? Would they be considering the community for any future expansions? And if not, why? We're reporting all that information back to the municipality and the county. We want to know about the strengths and the weaknesses and where they feel their industry is going and the economic health of that municipality. So
how do the companies react to this initiative?
Some companies cannot wait to set up a meeting with you. They have a lot to say. They think that they can use your help. All of their answers are confidential, so they feel like this is their opportunity to be candid and really see some change happen for the better. Other companies need a little bit of convincing. You know, not everyone
skeptical.
Yeah, well, it's about time. It's about what they think might or might not come out of it. Some companies keep information very close, but we assure them that it's confidential and that all this can do is help change whatever issues they may be having or continue to strengthen the good things about that community.
Now, the Morris County Board of Freeholders recently established an economic advisory committee. I believe the EDC is a member of that committee. How would you characterize the county government's involvement in wanting to become more familiar with business and industry and the problems that they face? I
think that the EDAC is a wonderful thing. It's definitely a proactive approach to economic development. It's important to have the people on that committee in the same room. We've actually only had a couple meetings, but we've already seen significant progress. We're working, you know, the EDAC is working with the freeholders, MCEDC, the County College of Morris, to make sure that we are letting the college know what the needs of the businesses are in terms of workforce development. And so the county college has been very receptive to that. And you know, when companies come to me and talk about a specific need, I can just bring it to that meeting, and it really addresses a lot of needs in an hour, you know. So it's a great thing.
Maggie Peters, I'm going to ask you to give us some contact information for the Economic Development Corporation. If someone wanted to learn more about the agency and its services, give us a phone number, web address, email address, however they can contact you.
We can be contacted at 973-539-8270 or on our website, www.morriscountyedc.org, and certainly info@morriscountyedc.org is the email address.
Okay. Maggie Peters, Executive Director of the Morris County Economic Development Corporation, I want to thank you very much for being with us today.
Thanks, Joe.
Now, if you have a question about Morris County government that you would like to have answered, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office at 973-285-6010. You may also visit the county government's website at morriscountynj.gov. And once you're there, don't forget to sign up for the county's electronic newsletter, Morris Connections. You can also become a Facebook fan. You can follow us on Twitter. You can check out this and past programs on YouTube. If you're interested in viewing some Morris County documents, you can do so on Scribd, and you can also check out some county photos on Flickr. I'm Joe Garifo. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm John Pecoraro, surrogate of Morris County. If a loved one passes away and you need to transfer property to their heirs, you must come to the surrogate's court. This is true even if the deceased did not have a will. This process is known as probate. Now, probate in New Jersey is not overly complicated, and my staff is available to assist you. If you have any questions, please call my office at 973-285-6500 or visit our website at morrissurrogate.com.
Welcome back to Focus on Morris County. I'm Joe Garifo, and on this segment of the program, we are going to learn about the Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority with my guest. He is Glenn Schweizer. Glenn is the Executive Director of the Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority. Glenn, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Joe.
We've, from time to time, we've done certain aspects of the MUA, usually focusing on recycling, everything from recycling cans and bottles to recycling the shrink wrap that is used to cover boats. But today we're going to give you an overview of the MUA, and a lot of times, Glenn, we hear the MUA being referred to as an autonomous agency. What does that mean? What is that relationship like between the MUA and the county government and the freeholders?
Okay, I think autonomous sort of represents the position that we're in that the MUA conducts programs, environmental programs on behalf of the County of Morris, and we finance and fund all of our operations through the services that we provide. The freeholders still establish policy in the various areas that we cover, and the MUA ends up essentially being the implementing agency for the County of Morris for those programs.
And there is a board, an appointed board, that also deals with policy for the MUA, correct?
Right. We have a 9-member board, and the 9-member board is selected by the Board of Freeholders, and there's also a freeholder liaison that plays a very active role in all the meetings and sessions and activities conducted by the MUA.
Without getting into too many specifics, what are the areas that the MUA is involved in?
Well, essentially we have 2 divisions. We have a water division and a solid waste and recycling division. So we get involved with water supply, and as a corollary to that, we also are involved in participating in the purchasing of open space properties to help preserve water resources. On the solid waste and recycling side, we're involved in managing the solid waste and recycling services, which includes regular solid waste and garbage, but also vegetative waste, household hazardous waste, clean communities issues, litter abatement, and recycling services for the county.
So it's a really broad scope of activities that the MUA is involved in. You mentioned water. To whom does the MUA's water division provide water to?
Well, we provide water to 8 municipalities located in the north central part of the county. For example, Randolph, Mine Hill, Roxbury, Denville, Mount Arlington, Jefferson, Parsippany, Wharton, and we also sell water to Southeast Morris County MUA, who provides water to Hanover, Morris Township, Morris Plains, and Morristown, as well as New Jersey American, which is a private water utility, and they provide water to Mendham and Chester.
Where does the MUA get its water? Do you have reservoirs? Is it underground water? Or
we have essentially 3 sources of water right now. 2 of them are our own. We have 2 well fields. The Almatong well field, which is located on the borders of Randolph and Roxbury Township, with a little piece in Chester. We also have our Flanders Valley well field located in Mount Olive and a piece in Roxbury. There we have 8 wells. We have a capacity of over 10 million gallons a day. And we also purchase 500,000 gallons a day from Southeast Morris County MUA, from their Clyde Potts Reservoir, which is located in Mendham Township.
And when we talk about providing water to the various communities, what is the supply like, Glenn? I mean, how much water does the county MUA actually have?
Well, water is becoming a very interesting subject matter in the state of New Jersey, primarily due to a number of forces. One, of course, is with the Highlands preservation area, with the Highlands planning efforts, which has really put fairly significant restrictions on the development of any new water sources in Morris County. On top of that, of course, you have DEP rules and restrictions and policies, which has also placed a burden on the ability of water purveyors to provide any additional water supplies. The underlying rationale for that is much of Morris County's water is supporting the large reservoir systems, Boonton Reservoir, Newark Reservoirs, which is providing water to out-of-county areas like Jersey City, Newark, and all areas in between.
Well, I do want to get into the other divisions as well that you mentioned. We've just briefly skimmed the surface, if you will, on water. You mentioned solid waste. Specifically, what does the MUA do regarding solid waste?
Well, actually, we are a regulated utility in both water and solid waste. On the solid waste division side, we are formally designated as the implementing agency for solid waste management for the County of Morris, so we get involved in implementation, planning, and operations. And so being responsible to handle all the solid waste generated in Morris County, which is your trash and garbage. We own and operate 2 transfer stations in the county located in Mount Olive and Parsippany. We engage in a private partner relationship with Waste Management, who actually operates most of the parts of the transfer station, provide transportation services, and also disposal services, most of which are at out-of-state landfills. So the MUA oversees this function of the collection of solid waste and also the proper management of solid waste.
The management of solid waste, I believe you also mentioned yard waste and leaves and vegetative waste. How does the MUA get involved in that area?
Well, the MUA owns, again, and operates 2 regional vegetative waste facilities where we provide, via contract with municipalities and private landscapers, to take their grass, leaves, and yard waste, the brush. We take them to our 2 facilities. Again, they're located in Mount Olive Township, and one is actually right in Parsippany, up off of Hanover Avenue. We take those materials and through a series of processes, we generate high-quality compost and also wood mulch. And these materials are sold back to landscapers who use them in their efforts and their work. And we also have a very vigorous and popular program where we sell truckloads of this material to Morris County residents. They call our office, make an appointment, and we deliver materials to them.
And I should mention at the end of the program, we'll be giving you a telephone number to call if you were interested, perhaps, in obtaining some mulch or compost or any of the other services that the MUA provides. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of the program that we've done an awful lot on this program about recycling. Recycling is the law here in the county. Does the MUA provide pickup recycling, curbside recycling pickup, and if so, how does that work? How many communities are you involved with?
Okay. Yeah, actually, since the passage of the state mandatory recycling law in 1987, MUA has been involved in providing a curbside collection service of recyclable materials to our municipalities. We have crews with large garbage trucks with MUA. Most people have probably seen them on the road. And we, again, through a service fee, we provide collection services for municipalities. We presently provide service to 15 of the 39 Morris County municipalities. I think over our history, we have provided, at any one time, we've provided services, collection services for probably 3/4 of Morris County's towns. But we typically top out at 15. That seems to be the number. And what we do is we collect the material, and presently we bring the paper and fiber materials back to our Dover Recycling Center, and the containers, the bottles, the glass, the plastic containers, which are mixed, we take them to a private firm, used to be called FCR, now it's Recommunity, and they have a facility, a processing facility located in Mine Hill Township, where they process and market the materials.
Now, those of us who recycle, and hopefully we all do that, are used to separating the items, source separation it's called. However, I understand that in the works there is a single stream recycling process that is going to be possible here in Morris County. Can you just give us a brief overview of that?
Sure. Well, as I said, presently right now, Morris County residents, for the most part, separate their recyclables by into 2 streams, paper and fiber and commingled containers. The trend in the industry is to collect these materials all mixed together and take them to, but you need a facility that's going to be able to separate all that material. Seeing that trend, we went out last year, we went through a procurement process where we wanted a private sector company to offer a proposal to the County of Morris whereby they could provide single stream recycling service. After a prolonged process, we entered into a contract with Recommunity, who is the company that presently provides the commingled container stream service. And they're in the process right now of developing and expanding their operation in Mine Hill Township, and they will be constructing and providing the equipment to offer single stream services. And I hope people will stay in tune with the news about this facility and the program. It's a very interesting set of equipment that I think everyone will get a kick out of. I think on our website in the future we will provide a link so people can actually see how it operates. And And so we're right now in the process of speaking to municipalities in Morris County, looking to transfer from the dual stream system over to the single stream collection system. And it's very exciting for a number of reasons. One is because the MUA will be able to offer the collection service at a slightly reduced cost, because it's more efficient to pick up all the materials in one vehicle and with one crew. Of course, it's going to cost a little bit more to process the material, because you have all these bells and whistles that are going to be manipulating the material. But the other interesting thing is more materials will be added to the mix by virtue of the equipment and the very good recycling market right now. Almost all the plastics will be accepted except for PVC and polystyrene. Aseptic packaging will be included. Those are the milk and juice cartons, and various other materials. A lot of the information will be rolled out in the next few months. The facility will become operational probably within a month. And the track record for single stream service, when municipalities and counties switch from dual stream to single stream, we experience an increase in the amount of participation, because it's easier for residents to throw everything in one container, and we've learned that through experience. So for those people who aren't doing their full amount of recycling, I'm sure it'll be so easy for them. You'll get more participation, which yields more material. So you're going to have more recyclable materials achieved, a higher recycling rate, and less material and waste that will be required to be disposed of.
Glenn, that's great information, and you can find out more information by visiting the Morris County Municipal Utilities Authority website at mcmua.com. You can also give the MUA a call at 973-285-8383. Glenn Schweitzer, thank you very much for being with us today. Now, if you have a question about Morris County government, you can call the Morris County Freeholders Office, and that telephone number is 973-285-6010. You may also visit the county government's website at morriscountynj.gov. Once you're there, sign up for the county's electronic newsletter, Morris Connections. You can also become a Facebook fan, follow us on Twitter, view past programs on YouTube, visit our document library on Scribd, and check out some photos from county events on Flickr. I'm Joe Garifo. Thanks for being with us. Tune in again next week at this time for another edition of Focus on Morris County.